Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while since I last said those words to you lovely people here at NORL. My name is Toby Byrne. This is Gaming Now. This is the NORL FIA GT3 series, round number 9 of the series. And we're very close to the end of the season, very close to the business end of the season here at Zhuhai in China. It's a beautiful circuit. It is a wonderful circuit in China. It did, of course, hold many GT events over the years, and it also held the WTCC Championship a few years back, as we see a Lamborghini going for a spin in the background. So just while we are watching Nemesis out on his first ever lap, we can see that VSR Blizzard is back on the grid. Ketchy as well, usual suspects, all ready to go to war. But we were just talking about the championship coming into this round. It is Mark 1601, which is this man down in 11th, currently in the pit lane in his Renault, who leads the championship with 137 points. The eagle-eyed viewers will realise that is about 13 points ahead of his nearest rival, which is this man, Ketchy, who's also in the pit lane getting ready today. Murcielago lines up in third, with 92 points, but he's not quite in the title fight as it stands. We have 2 rounds left to go, including this one. This is the penultimate round of the championship, so Ketchy and Mark really need to start getting to work. The battle for third place is still very much up for grabs then. Murcielago on 92 points, Beamer Black on 85 points, and Galactic Squad 2 on 70 points. It's all wide open. You can just see how fast VSR Blizzard's Mercedes looks flowing through this beautiful circuit. Although he does get on the throttle a little bit too early. It looks like he's warming up his tyres. So the first man to set the lap time is Sevens with a 2:17.6. Oh, excuse me. My chair is not wanting to play ball. But we're comfy now, we're ready to go. So bring it on, NORL. Show us what you got. Do want to apologise if the commentary isn't going to be 100% today. Oh, Sevens goes around. That was a quick spin. We've seen a few people do that. Murcielago sets a time of 1:40.0, so that's the first relative time. That's immediately beaten by Kevin Jacobs in the Acura NSX with a 1:38.6. Now, like I was saying, I do want to apologise if the commentary is not 100% today. This is the first time commentating since I had a really bad time with my tooth, which involved a hospital, so speaking wasn't an option, and I'm just still recovering, so I apologise. Very close time between the two Bentleys of Galactic Squad 2 and Murcielago, less than a half a tenth separating them two, so very good consistency from them guys. Kevin Jacobs still on provisional pole as Cone Joker goes P4. Mark now puts the time in for P5. I'm sure he can improve on that one. Chaz at P6, JFD P7, VSR P8, and Sevens, not Senna, P10. He's just been beaten by JFD, who puts himself up into P9. He's actually scrapping away with VSR Blizzard in this qualifying session. VSR trying to go to the inside, but actually messes it up. Gets on the throttle too early and compromises himself. Sorry about that. Oh my god, I really do apologise. I've been working all day. I've done a 9-hour shift today. I'm a little bit exhausted. But the show must go on. Beamer Black out on a lap. Nemesis up, coming up to set time. He will go P8 with that lap time. Kevin Jacobs still on provisional pole by 1.5 seconds, pretty much. He'll be very happy to see that. Of course, Mark has set time good enough for P6, and in that title battle, it's Ketchy who's got the early advantage of being P4 to Mark's P6. Kevin pits as Murcielago takes the new provisional pole position. So we have a Bentley. As it stands, we have a Bentley on pole position, and I'm sure they will love it. Murcielago then still very much on pole position. Galactic Squad 2 third. Cone Joker now goes P2, just under half a second. Does say we have a second comment on the stream. I do apologise, I can't see it. So whoever just posted, I do apologise, that has not come through. That comment has not come through to the stream. So Kevin Jacobs going back out on the circuit to get ready for another lap. Kedchi now takes pole position with 133.2. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. We can see, look at the traffic jam just forming at the end there of everyone that has been where they have and set their laps, and it was an astonishing lap. Almost 3.7 seconds clear of second place from Kedchi. Really good effort by him. We'll have to see in terms of the title battle. Mark only down in P9 at the moment. He's caught up in this train, so this won't be doing him any favours. So you can see someone else just moved up into P4. That was Nemesis took P4 then. He's overtaken VSR Blizzard on this lap. This is a very scruffy qualifying session. These guys not giving each other a lot of room to work with whatsoever. 3 minutes left in the session and everyone's a little bit queued up. And they really need to separate and get better times because you can't do that in the traffic at the moment, and Kedchi is almost 10 seconds faster than his title rival Mark as it stands due to that. But nothing taken away from Kedchi's. Beamer Black has moved up into P2. Kedchi is still a whopping almost 3 seconds ahead of everybody, so fantastic driving by Kedchi in the Mercedes there. He's really put the effort in, and it's really coming back for him right now. So Mark coming to start a lap. He did spend most of that lap stuck in traffic, but it was good enough for second. So we can only hope to see what Mark can really do when he's not in traffic. However, Kedchi is actually right behind him, which is very interesting because Kedchi right behind him will be following Mark. So this will be interesting in terms of pole position. These guys will probably get one more lap in after this if they don't mess this one up. Ooh, speaking of mess up, Mark goes very wide indeed and gets an invalidated lap time. So that's not a good lap time for Mark at all. He needs to stay out of the way now because Kedchi is going for another fast lap. But is Mark trying to continue his lap time here, or is he just trying to stop Kedchi from extending his advantage? Of course, Mark needs to keep the beast pace up because he can go for another lap here. However, he's kind of blocking Kedchi because according to this, his lap has already been invalidated. So this lap won't count for Mark, but Kedchi very much still on a lap, and we'll be getting a little bit held up by the Renault here. And these guys are already battling in qualifying. We haven't even made it to the race yet. Trying to set up a wide run is Kedchi. We'll now get a lovely slipstream all the way down to the final corner. And I don't think this is the plan of Mark. He's actually pulled to the inside off the racing line there. And it's still just trying to find a way to... I'm not sure what's going to be. He's going to go for another lap, clearly. But he probably should have let Kedchi through, in my opinion. Regardless, Kedchi's going to get a nice tour down the straight from that. Mark shouldn't improve because it's a new lap time. And Kedchi doesn't improve either. So Kedchi's actually going to go for a move down the inside of turn one, but goes straight on. Off into the gravel goes the pole sitter, and that's not worked out at all. It's probably not done much for Mark's lap time either, because he got sent down the inside. So we have Kevin in P3, Mimo Black P4, Sevens P5, VSR Blizzard P6, Murcielago P7, Nemesis Racing 8th, Cone Joker 9th, Van Altanovich 10th, Galactic Skull 2 in 11th, Chazza 12th. Bringing up the rear of the grid is JFD. Kedchi returns to the pit lane then, so his session is at an end. Can Mark steal it here? Can Kevin Jacobs steal it here? Can Beamer steal it here? We got a few guys out on some final laps. We'll have to see if they're able to take anything home with them here today. And I'm sure they'll be trying their utmost. Kedchi's going to try come out, but it's not going to happen. He gets sent back to the pit lane. He tried to get out for one final attempt, out of time, out of mind. So Kedchi just has to sit back and watch now and see if anybody can dethrone him of his pole position. And what a nerve-wracking time that'd be. That will be a man that won't be dethroning anybody. He's a very crushed-looking Bentley who's had an accident at the final corner. His session is over. Murcielago's session. Oh, and Mark's session is gone as well. He's spun around searching for that time. So Mark won't be challenging for pole position at all here today. Beamer Black and Kevin can still do it. Where's Beamer Black? He's coming out of the hairpin now. Kevin should be coming up to the end of his lap. We'll see if Kevin can challenge for pole position as a Mercedes has spun on the line. I'm not sure how that's happened. Kevin will drive to the vert, will take P2, so he'll put himself in between Mark and Kedshi. That's something Mark won't want to see, and he'll have to deal with Kevin Jacobs very quickly when it comes to race day. What can Beamer Black do? What can Sevens do? Still got a few guys here who could be a cheeky shoe-in for the end of this qualifying session, a cheeky bet to put on if they can take pole position or not. Coming around the final corner then is Beamer P4. He currently is, and he's coming. Is he in the final corner? No, I think he's in the final sector, so apologies for that. He's got a little bit further to go than I thought he did. Sevens is in the middle sector. He's still got pretty far to go. Now we should be coming up to the final corner. What can Beamer Black do? Can Beamer Black, he's only a 10th behind Mark. Can he put another car in between Kedshi and Mark here today? Up to the line. I'm not sure. I don't think he did. See your final standards, he does them. P3 for Beamer Black, so that puts 2 cars in between Kedshi and Kevin Jacobs. And Beamer Black, your top 3. That makes 2 cars ahead of Mark, who is the championship leader. Kedshi chasing. That'll be a good sign for Mark today. He'll look to capitalise on that. Sevens will line up P5. Nemesis Racing P6. And it was VSR Blizzard, and then Murcielago, Kern Joker, and then Altanovic rounding out your top 10. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Getting ready for round number 9 of this 11-race championship. It is Kedshi versus Mark for the championship. Kedshi lines up on pole position. He needs to do everything he can today to gain some ground away from this man, Mark, who is starting in P4, so he's a full row behind Kedshi. Kedshi needs to take advantage of this and just run away if he wants a good chance of getting some championship points back today. Beamer Black will line up in P3. Kevin Jacobs P2. These two will be playing in between the race leaders and the championship leaders. As we look further down the grid, we could just see that it was a poor qualifying. Someone's noted in the chat, it was a poor qualifying for Galactic Skull 2. That could have serious implications for him in his battle for 4th place in the championship this season. I'm sorry, in the battle for 3rd place in the championship this season. So Kedshi will lead them away around the final corner. Kevin Jacobs will look to capitalise on a bad exit if it's possible. Mark needs to do everything he can to clear these guys as quick as possible. Kedshi needs to run away. It's all to play for here in round 9 of the NORL FIA GT3 Championship. The lights out, the way we go. Who's going to... Oh my goodness, there's been a huge accident in the back of the field. We've got a Bentley that spun around immediately as we go into turn 1. Kevin Jacobs on the inside, Kedshi on the outside. Contact between the top 2. Who's going to get away with that? And it's Kevin Jacobs that takes the lead in turn 1. Beamer Black will now lose a position to Mark. Mark on the outside, and we could have another car going around. An Audi in the wall. I believe that was JFD. Mark gets past Beamer Black initially. Can Beamer Black do anything? Return it up the inside? No, he cannot. Nothing doing. Mark up to P3. Kedshi down to P2. Beamer Black down to P4. We've still got drama unfolding in the background as Altanovic has got involved with VSR Blizzard in the background then. Absolute crazy star. Murcielago looking to go down the inside of Sevens into the hairpin. Is he going to be able to do it? Everyone getting choked up a little bit. No. Kit Sevens has the racing line, gets away with a better exit. That's going to allow Nemesis to attempt anything around the outside of Murcielago coming into the middle sector. He has the inside line. Will he break later and be able to take that away from the Bentley? He will break later. Will he get the move done? Yes, he will, but the Murcielago still hanging around the outside. Great effort from Murcielago in the Bentley, and he's going to hold it. Is he going to go hold it now? Brilliant stuff from Murcielago. Great driving from the both of them. You can see VSR Blizzard is an early casualty. Galactic Skull 2 early casualty, and Altanovic early casualty, and so is JFD. Kedshi leads by 2 tenths, and that's because Kevin has spun. Was there contact? We didn't see. He's been dropped into a chaotic battle as a result. And that's Mark. Mark, championship leader's gone for a spin in the background as well. That could have big implications for the championship battle. Kedshi leads, Mark in 8th. Look how far Kedshi is. We've got a car spinning again. Kevin Jacobs has spun in the last corner. Absolute madness unfolding here. VSR Blizzard has nowhere to go. So many cars coming into the pit lane at once. The whole field is pitting at the same time apart from Kedshi. This is insane. What is happening? The entire field pits apart from Altanovic. Kedshi. Does JFD pit? Yes, he does. So everybody but Altanovic, Kedshi pits on lap 2. Ketchi leads by a whopping 12.6 seconds from Anatanovic. Murcielago up to P3 after all that chaos. Chaza is up to P4. Great stuff by those two. They've gained several positions through the pit stop phase. Absolutely insane stuff. Sevens comes out in P5, gets away with that spin from earlier on. Looks like a few more people had to get some damage and got held in the pits. Nemesis P6. Mark gains a position up to P7. Beamer Blight's a big loser in 8th. Colin McAllister, Galactical 2, P9. Kevin Jacobs, big loser, down to P10 in that respect. JFD will come out 11th. VSR Blizzard is the biggest loser of them all, will come out in P12th. But this man couldn't have gone much better for this man. This man needs to gain some points on Mark today in the championship, and it's looking very healthy in that respect. He's 45 seconds ahead of the man he needs to outscore today. So big gaps have formed due to that absolute chaos. A very chaotic phase. And who is the closest gap we have on circuit? I think it is this man, Galactic Skull 2, chasing down Beamer Black. Mark is also chasing down Nemesis. Kevin Jacobs is also chasing down Galactic Skull 2. Lots of close battles. Big championship. Ketchi pits. Ketchi responds to this mass of undercutting and pits immediately, and he's actually going to come out in P2, is he? He's actually going to absolutely nail this strategy. Beautiful strategy from Ketchi. He can go to the end now, and the only man he has to worry about is Anatanovic, funnily enough. So great effort by Ketchi, taking advantage of the pure chaos that happened on lap 2, and gets in the pit lane when it's nice and quiet, comes out in the net lead, because Anatanovic is yet to pit. Meanwhile, Mark has dispatched Nemesis Racing fairly early and has got on with the task at hand. Can Nemesis Racing offer anything back on the attack for Mark as we head into turn 1? Anything doing at all? Nemesis looking. Nothing available to him as we head into turn 1. Galactic Skull 2 looking like he was struggling to get that Bentley slowed down for there. Anatanovic looking like he's having similar issues. Ketchi gaining massive amounts on time of Anatanovic. Murcielago kind of driving into no man's land. Meanwhile, Sevens is closing in on Chaza as we head into the middle sector. Much later on the brakes, the Audi, then the Renault gains a lot of time in the hairpin, and Chaza gets a abysmal exit. That's really going to allow the R8 to have an opportunity. Looking to the outside, to the inside, nowhere to go. The Renault's parked in the exact place it needs to be. Can the Audi outbrake the Renault down the inside? He tries to. Chaza tries to hold it on the outside. Can he do it? Sevens has the inside line and gets the better run, and I think Sevens will take P4 here. He does, up the inside, the second part of that double left-hander. Good job by Sevens, moves up into P4, one spot off the podium. Mark is starting to drop. Nemesis Racing now, he's passed him. Meanwhile, Galactic Skull 2 has been passed by Kevin Jacobs. VSR Blizzard and JFD driving in a no man's land. Ketchi closing in on Anatanovic massively, who is electing to stay out. Anatanovic still not pitting, enjoying that leading feeling. So now, Mark will try close in on Chaza, trying to minimize damage here that he's facing from that chaotic start to this race. Mark closing, Chaza closing, and we got a car going super wide. That was Kevin Jacobs almost going for a huge tank slapper across the circuit. Looks like he gets away with it though, and could have been a lot worse for Kevin there. VSR Blizzard, meanwhile, is still driving a very squashed Mercedes. We've had a very bad start to this race for the man in the Mercedes. So this is the main battle. We got Mark 27 seconds off the lead, then Nemesis 28, Beamer Black 30, and Kevin Jacobs 32. And then Galactic Skull 2 is not that far behind Kevin Jacobs. Meanwhile, Mark closing in massively now on Chaz. How aggressive will he be on the attack? Goes very late on the brakes. Chaz really not sure where to brake for that corner. It looked like he got on and off the brake quite a few times there just to readjust his line. Now he loses a little bit of traction out of the exit to Mark. Mark looking. Is he going to send it up the inside? He pulls to the inside, makes his intentions known. Late braking up the inside. Will Chaz be able to hold it on the outside? No chance, because Mark gets it. But now he gets the better run. And now we'll go around the outside because Mark just could not get the power down. Chaz retains P5 now, but that has brought Nemesis back into the fray, so this could be a double overtake potentially here. Meanwhile, Ketchi has closed in to within half a second of the race lead, and it is still Anatanovic needing to pit, but Ketchi looks like he's going to do it on merit anyway, rather than just net position. They go down the inside. No, Anatanovic defends the inside with all his might. Ooh, that got very, very close, didn't it? Meanwhile, Mark has passed Chazza, and Nemesis is trying to get involved in that action as well. Beamer Black closing in on the action as well, very close to him, but trying to get a little bit of slipstream is Nemesis. Can he do anything up the inside of turn 1? No, he cannot. Can Beamer Black do anything on the inside of him? No, pushing Chazza through turn 1 is Nemesis now, and Chazza gets a little bit of a poor exit. That's going to allow Chazza to do anything he can. Meanwhile, we've got a battle for the lead going on. We have Keji going side by side with Anatanovic going into the double left-hander is right side. Right decision, right move, good move by Keji. Keji takes the lead on merit and doesn't have to worry about overtaking in the pit stops. Meanwhile, we've got Nemesis Racing and Chazza still going side by side as we head into the middle section of the inside for Nemesis Racing. Big contact in the background. Nemesis Racing, what's going on here? Kevin Jacobs has gone onto the grass and almost spearheaded into the side of everyone in the hairpin there. That could have been very, very bad. Gets away with it for another day, but that's going to put Galactic Skull 2 on his tail. Anything doing there? Is Chazza going to be under pressure from Beamer Black? Yes, he is. Beamer Black looking to the inside, has the inside, doesn't have the brakes to do it though. Pulls back, just hangs back a little bit, as does Galactic Skull 2 in that respect as well. Meanwhile, Anatanovic is staying with the Mercedes here, maybe trying to get a little bit back on himself. And still in some need of some good points this season. Really needs to be careful not to mess this up. It's a good opportunity for an alternate strategy here. Meanwhile, look at this absolute chaotic train going on. Something's happened to Chazza. That's dropped him all the way down to P10, and he's now behind this crazy battle that's forming at a Bentley, the Lamborghini, the Acura, going into the final corner now, I believe this is. Yes, it is. So there'll be a slipstream fest down into turn 1. Kevin Jacobs leads this train. Galactic Skull 2 will be the one you expect to make the move with that horsepower and the closest to the Lamborghini of anybody. Looks to the inside. Anything doing? No, he won't, because Beamer Black now comes the inside line contact. Galactic Skull 2 hits off Beamer Black. Into the gravel goes the Lamborghini. Big hit there from the Bentley. Wipes Beamer Black out of contention, and he will be furious. So, after all that chaos, what do we have? We have Chazza being chased down by Galactic Skull 2, who I'm sure will be receiving some stern words from the stewards this evening. Coming out the final corner, trying to chase down Chazza, going into the middle sector. You see VSR Blizzard is closing in on this battle as well. Looks a lot more confident than Chazza on the brakes. Chazza really having some braking issues this evening. We have Anatanovic finally making his stop, P2. So we'll see where he re-emerges. Galactic Skull 2 pulls to the outside. Can he make it around the outside of this corner on Chazza? We'll see who's better on the brakes. Chazza been struggling all week with these brakes. Galactic Skull 2 might be able to just drive clean around the outside of Chazza here, nothing doing on this particular occasion. Anatanovic just gets released from the pits now, so we'll see where he emerges in that respect. And he's not going to come out. He's going to come out in P6. It'll be close with Nemesis, I think, but he should do it. Good stuff for Anatanovic, top 5, and he can do that. Meanwhile, we have VSR Blizzard going all over the road. That was close. Chad to pull it to the inside. Is he going to send it? That's a really bad place to send it. VSR Blizzard. Oh, and Colin can't stop. Just gets it stuck before he goes into the gravel. And now VSR Blizzard is side by side with Chad at above, side by side, heading in to the left-hander. Now this is going to be an interesting one. There's a flat-out kink here, but it is this corner that matters. Who's going to set up? And it's Chazza backs off. Doesn't want to contest that one. Just wants to hang back. VSR Blizzard goes a little bit wide, but that's okay because he gets away with it. He actually gains a little bit on Galactic Skull 2 there. You can see Beamer Black has gained massively in this respect as well. Pulls to the inside. Going to go down the inside of Galactic Skull 2. Galactic Skull 2 tried to fight it with everything he had. Goes off. Wasn't enough room in that particular charade. Beamer Black is now in P10. Chazza P9. VSR Blizzard P8. And the madness continues. Crazy to believe we've almost got 18 minutes left still. A lot of action to come. Beamer Black closing in on Chazza all the time, looking for a move. Aiming for the outside? No. Chazza covers the outside. He saw it coming. Beamer Black, though, will try switch to the inside as a result of that. And will he get the move done? Good move from Beamer Black if he can pull it off. They go side by side as close as they dare without touching. Still side by side. Colin McAllister looking in the background, nothing doing. Beamer Black takes P number 9 away from Chazza for now. What will that trigger on the start-finish straight, I wonder? And it's going to trigger Galactical 2 getting a much better exit than Chazza, it looked like, visually. So he should have a chance to make a move up the inside for turn 1. Pulls to the inside, makes his intentions known to Chazza. How will Chazza react to this? Will he brake a lot later? He will brake a lot later. Can he stop? Ooh, just about. And gets the move done. The Bentley up into P10. What a day it's been for JFD, as he almost spins as we cut with him on that particular occasion. And Altanovic has lost a position to Kevin Jacobs and Nemesis, I think, on this occasion. Mark closing in on 7s. This is vital for the championship, of course. Mark really needs to minimise the points lost to Ketchi today. He only has a 13-point buffer, so could do to get into a podium. That would really make it better. As it stands, it looks like... I'm sure it looks like he might just maintain the championship lead, but it'd be a lot better off for him if he could get P3. And he will still have a 3-point buffer going into the final round. Imperative that he gets a good job done here today. Imperative that Kedji gets a good job here today. No matter what happens, it looks like we're getting set up well for the final round of the championship. So this battle looks like it's all but finished. And we can now focus on Mark closing in on the Audi of 7s, who's battling for a podium. Mark trying his utmost. Would this be 7's first podium of the season? I think it might. Let me just clarify. This would be 7's first podium of the season. Really looking for some good points, 7's. He's had a poor record. He's had 5 DNSs and, of course, a 9th and an 11th. So only scored points once. Finds himself battling for the podium. So he'll want to do his best to maintain that. And of course, it's more imperative that Mark gets past for his championship, however, as his title rival is leading the race and he's stuck down in P4. So will he send it up the inside? Yes, a very late switch to the inside from Mark. Sees him take the podium away from 7's temporarily, but what can 7's do in retaliation? Pulls alongside, has the outside line for the corner coming up, so it's going to be hard to maintain it on the outside, as it always is with every corner, but he'll try his utmost. Mark on the inside though. Is he going to get the move done? Yes, he is. Mark up into the podium, minimises the points lost to Ketchi to 10 points, which would bring him into the final round with a 3-point advantage. Kevin Jacobs closing in on Nemesis Racing. Looking for any opportunity to get past Valerio Campagnari, the Italian, the founder of NORL. Looking to do anything he can. 7's, meanwhile, is trying to hold on to Mark with all he dare. Nothing on this particular occasion. Ooh, we can see a little bit of movement in there as Mark was weaving, 7's was weaving, crazy stuff. They've actually closed in on Machilaga, so this is very good for Mark. Could really make it hard for Kedchi this time next week. Kedchi's doing everything he can do. He's just got to hope that the others get involved in this fight. Kevin Jacobs gaining, goes to the inside of the flat corner. They go side by side through the flat corner. Kevin Jacobs gets the position done. Good move by Kevin Jacobs to take that top 5 spot away from Nemesis Racing. We have had a retirement in this race. Just trying to figure out who it was. I think it's Cone Joker. Yeah, Cone Joker's retired from this race. Meanwhile, look at this little trend that's forming. Mark needs to be careful here. He doesn't want to get involved in any accidents. Just got to play it safe because it is championship contention now. Ketchi's gone. Ketchi has pretty much won this race unless he can pull 20. But Mark can't get into a fight that he can't win. He can't get into an accident, especially now they're coming up to lap someone. Mark's got to be super careful about how he approaches this because he can't lose that buffer to Kedchi. If Mark doesn't score here today, it's going to be very hard for him to win next week. The back marker keeps out of the way as he should. Good effort by the back marker. You can see he pulls to the inside. 7's looking for anything. Can Mark go down the inside of the Bentley into turn 1? Bentley goes wide, and Murcielago's off the road, and Mark takes P2, minimises the gap even further. Now to Kedchi. Sevens will have to hang on and see if he can get anything. Can he get that second place away from Mark? Regardless, he's looking like he could take his first podium here. Murcielago will have to try gain all that time back that he has lost to this pair as a result of going too wide at turn 1, but trying his might is Sevens trying to go for that second place. If he could take second place, it'd really set us up for a nice finale. Oh, that sounded... I thought we had a spin there, but we haven't. Anel Tanovic, meanwhile, has just driven clean around the outside of Galactic Score 2. He caught the back end of that move. Good move by Anel Tanovic. And that's for P9. Shame Anel Tanovic came out in P5 after his strategy. Has just sort of fallen out down the order ever since, unfortunately for him. Nemesis Racing is gaining again on Kevin Jacobs, however, so that battle could still be alive and well. Just checking the battle up the front, and it looks like it's okay for now. It doesn't look like we're going to be seeing anything amazing. Nemesis Racing gaining through the flat out left slight king. I'm not even sure you can call it a corner, but as we go through the final corner, Nemesis Racing will open up the revs, open up the throttle, and see if he can try again. And then meanwhile, JFD just driving his own racetrack in the background. Don't mind him, just mowing the lawn for the Zhuhai circuit here. Just lost, doing a U-turn. How do you get out of this car park? Nemesis gaining an awful lot on Kevin Jacobs through the first sector. That's a good effort by him. Into the very tricky left-hander that can catch so many people out. Kevin Jacobs goes a little bit wide, but gets away with it. Not much action happening at the moment, just a sort of following motion. Mark's minimised the damage that he could have. He could have pretty much made it impossible for Kedji to win next time out, but he's minimised the damage to the best he can. As it stands, he will only lose 7 points to Kedji, which will bring the gap down to 6 points going into the final. So if Kedji was to win next week and Mark finished second again, Kedji would win the championship by 1 point. So it can still go right down to the wire here. He's minimised the damage as best he can, but there's still 9 minutes to go in this motor race. Kevin Jacobs almost goes for a spin again. He eats that rear of that curve so much that it just spits him across the circuit. He's got to be oh so careful when he's doing that, as to not go for a spin. Oh, as we speak of spins, Murcielago goes around, loses his 4th place, loses 5th place for good measure, down into P6. He goes as he just gets turn 1 all kinds of messed up and drops down to P6. Kevin Jacobs looking a little bit vulnerable to the Audi of Nemesis Racing. We've had another retirement from this race. That's Anel Tanovic. It's a shame. Affected the strategy. Just couldn't keep it on the road. That means everyone who finishes today will get a point though, so a little incentive for the other drivers. Speaking of which, Beamer Black is gaining on VSR Blizzard as we speak. Very late on the brakes. Eight and a half minutes to go. Just waiting for it to kick off again. This is the battle for P7, of course. It's very close. Blizzard does go wide out of the final corner. That's going to affect his run, and actually Beamer Blacks are going to gain massively as a result of that. There might be a move coming at the end of this straight. VSR Blizzard goes defensive. Beam of Light will be forced to go around the outside if he wants to make the move. Going to be near impossible. Decides not to. Tries to set him up for a better switchback. No, isn't able to. Actually somehow loses time for a turn 1. Nothing doing for Beam of Black at the moment. Kevin Jacobs and Nemesis Racing keeping the gap pretty much together. Marker's closed the gap to Ketchy a bit, but Ketchy looks like he's pretty comfortable at the moment, doesn't he? Attic Skull 2 gaining on the back of this battle that's occurring in front of him. Skernjerk did disconnect. Here's the lap time so far this race for you guys to see. See that Ketchy's leading on lap 15. He's done you can see the pace. That mark is very quick at the moment with a 34.6 on the circuit. You can just see how similar Kevin Jacobs and Nemesis Racing's time are as well. But it's actually Murcielago who's going pretty slow right now. Blizzard's going pretty slow compared to Bleemer back as well, and Galactic Skull 2. Fastest lap so far. This is definitely going to be VSR Blizzard though, so very interesting how that's fluctuated for Blizzard this race, of course. Beamer Black pulls out the slipstream way too early. I think Nemesis Racing starting to lose touch with Kevin Jacobs. Beamer Black trying to hold on to the back of VSR Blizzard. Six minutes remain on the clock. Murcielago's actually got past, where's Nemesis gone? Nemesis is up into P3. Kevin Jacobs down to P4. I think Kevin's had a spin that we've missed off the camera somewhere. Nemesis is now on the podium. Kevin Jacobs has had a spin and dropped down to P4. Under pressure a bit. Murcielago 7 has had a little bit of an offside as well. I wonder if those two made contact. Interesting. So there's a switcheroo in that regard. Nemesis P3, Kevin Jacobs P4. Sevens has had a nightmare. Kevin Jacobs also had a nightmare in that, lost a position to Nemesis. Lost quite a lot of time in regards to where he was against Murcielago as well, so I wonder if those two made contact. That would be interesting to see. Sevens coming back on Murcielago a bit. Going to be close to battle for fifth. Murcielago goes a little bit deep. That's going to allow Sevens to get a much better run as we head up to the hairpin, but he's going to have to do it around the outside, but he gets the run. Going to be side by side with Murcielago coming into the hairpin. Going to have to do it around the outside. Like we said, it's going to be tough if Murcielago can just keep his nose in to make contact. Big swipe across the track there to make the corner from Sevens. Just bangs into the side of the Bentley and just effectively barges his way past. Not sure how Murcielago's going to feel about that one. Doesn't look like he's going to take it lying down. Yes, he will. Will not challenge into the next corner. Sevens up into P5 then. Murcielago down to P6. VSR Blizzard DNFs. Not sure what happened. We can see if we can clarify that. Chazza DNFs as well. That's another driver we've lost from the session. A few drivers dropping out. I'm not sure what happened, but looks like we're dropping a few drivers now. We've lost Chazzo so far. The DNS we've dropped Chazza, we've dropped Anil Tapic, Kern Joker, and now VSR Blizzard all out of the race. Only 9 drivers then remaining in this race. Oh, Ketchy looks like he's had a spin. The leader looks like he's just had a bit of a half spin there as we cut on to him. Looks like he was just recovering from some sort of spin He has actually lost a lot of time to Kedchi. So, I'm sorry, Kedchi's lost a lot of time to Mark. So it looks like a spin there from Kedchi. With only 3 minutes left to go, he won't be wanting to do that too often. Because Mark's only 10 seconds behind now. Can't really afford to do anything like that again. Oh dear. Speaking of which, JFD is 2.5 minutes off the lead. Good effort by him to still be going. I know a few people that would have not continued had that been the case. Kedchi now opening up the throttle, trying to gain some time on Mark to give himself a bit of a healthier back. That sounds like I just heard a spin somewhere. I think JFD just had a spin in turn 1. Yes, he did. But I heard someone. So VSR had a system issue and got caught up in some accidents, unfortunately for him, but does DNF. 1 minute 44 on the clock. Kedchi leads from Mark. In terms of the championship, that shall bring the championship gap down to around about 6 points going into the final round in Germany, which means that it's pretty much going to be a case of if Kedchi can win, then he wins the championship. If Mark finishes ahead of Kedchi, he wins the championship. Very interesting. So Kedchi will likely need to win. I'm sure there'll be other circumstances, but the most obvious one is Kedchi will need to win next weekend in order to win the championship. Mark will just need to outscore Kedchi. So JFD, meanwhile, has had another spin, I think, and he needs to get out of the way because Kedchi's coming behind, doesn't want to take out the leader because that could be interesting. Kedchi does overlap Mark, actually gained 2 seconds during that trim. Meanwhile, the Bentleys are having a little bit of a ding-dong battle. Murcielago looks like he's had another spin, goes down to P7. Now under pressure from the white Bentley of Galactic Skull 2. Has been passed by the Lamborghini of Beamer Black. Meanwhile, the two Bentleys look like they're going to go hammer and tong in a moment. The ride on the bumper kind of one of the Bentleys giving a lovely yellow light. I say you lovely. Lighting up the dark green Bentley ahead of him. Coming into the back stretch. Looks like Murcielago's having a little bit of a consistency issues coming into the end of this race. Anything up the inside? No, nothing. Just waits because Murcielago's just going to go off the track. Never mind. That's the easiest move Galactic Skull 2 is going to make all season. Galactic Skull 2 up into P7. Murcielago drops to P8. Kevin. Oh, meanwhile, what's happened to Kedchi? Kedchi's had another spin and now the gap is only down to 3 seconds. Kedchi might just get away with this one, but what happened to Kedchi in those final laps? His consistency just went out the window. Meanwhile, speaking of which, Kevin Jacobs closing in on Nemesis Racing for the podium as quick as he can. Dive down the inside. Nemesis just adjusted his steering, allowed him through, and then made the switchback. Textbook move by Valerio Campagnari there. Bags of experience in that move to just straighten out the steering, let Kevin make his own mistake, and take the racing line back when it came to it. Kedchi's on the final straight now. These two are close together. Is there anyone closer than that? I don't think so. I think all the battling is done for today. Kedchi played his cards to his chest, made so many mistakes in the end of the race that it is just a case of Kedchi wins then. And how intense was that? Kedchi making a lot of mistakes towards the end of the race. Good comeback for Mark to finish P2. Bloody hell, where's JFD going? Good comeback from Mark for P2. Minimises the damage today. The gap should be 6 points going into the final round in Germany, which will be a case of Kedchi will need to win next weekend to win the championship. Mark just needs to outscore Kedchi. Nemesis Racing comes home for the podium just ahead of Kevin Jacobs for P4. Sevens will come home to take P5, his first top 5 of the season. Beamer Black P6. Galactic Skull 2 will come across the line for P7. Murcielago, a very rough day in the office, will take P8. And JFD, well, 2 minutes and 50 seconds off the lead speaks for itself. Did I swear? Did I actually? I really don't know. I can't remember. I don't think I did. Either way, Kechi takes the win of the race, which will set him up nicely for the final round next time in Germany. Mark will come home P2, minimising the damage today, and we'll go into the championship lead in Germany with 6 points in his favour. Nemesis Racing P3, Kevin Jacobs P4, just out of sight, out of mind. Sevens picks up a P5, Nima Black P6, Galactic P7, Murcielago P8, and JFD P9. Those are the finishers. And that is your race done for round number 9. Thank you so much for watching. Join us on Sunday for the NORL F1 2018 series, round number 9 there as well. Or you can catch us for the final. Don't miss it on Wednesday next week, same time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.